Hi, I'm Sean, and you're watching Shopworx. On this episode here, I'm going to redo this intro because it got deleted, apparently somehow. But we're going to be working on getting that transfer case finished up and put it in the 6-door here, along with some other odds and sods. So let's get at it. There we go. Huh? That way. Alright. Here. No wear on those nylons at all. Okay, so now looking at it, right here's where it wears. Well, right here is where it wears, and what happens is it wears through this molding on the case, usually upwards, and down would be reversed. And then once that goes through, it pulls through, and this is your oil filter here down in, well, you see the oil line right here on the transfer case. So your bearings and oil, and the pump pumps it out, and that's a little centrifugal pump in there of some kind. I remember fixing a shaft on another one, JB weld, because the pump scored it up. It went through, broke the hose off, ran dry on oil, which I have a hunch might happen with that other one on my crew cab. So this one's in good shape. I'm going to pull the whole pawl off here. I don't even take the filter out. We'll clean the case up a bit, and you can sort of see how long that groove is in there. So what I've been doing, which I haven't had any problems with yet, is I extend a rod in there, weld the rod in, so that rod has that much more surface area to wear back and forth on it. So I got this marked out. I need that on the front, and the rest goes through the back there. That'll give me the most surface area, wearing the whole 1 3/4 versus just a little nub. Well, I'll show you what I mean here right now. This is how much more surface area there is on it after welding that rod in. And you can see down here what happens if that wears through. It'll just rip the whole intake and everything off, and then you're sucking nothing. Well, that should work out okay there. These pieces don't go on quite yet. This, on the other hand, does. That's in. Spring back on there. Glue up the case. And we'll figure the tail shaft out. See where we're at with that. Well, I didn't clean any of the internals off there. You can still see I got oil on the chain here and stuff like that. I'm just going to put a little bit on the wear pads here, just to make sure that everything's got a little bit of a film in it. Never did have the shaft out or anything on the back side here, so. And then on the bearing surfaces as well. And we'll clean up the gasket surface and glue her together. Not a big fan of this brake clean. It's not my usual stuff. It just happened to be cheap. I think they changed the formula on everything. Doesn't have the volume to really wash anything. Just not impressed. I've cleaned this a few times already, so I'm not getting a whole lot of residue off here. you can see it's not that bad. Throw some of the bearings here too. These ones I did wash out with brake clean, so. They're getting quieter already. What I just about forgot was a magnet. Nope, screwed up again.
Huh?
I screwed up again. I got to pull the case.
Why?
I forgot to put the C-clips in on that last sprocket.
Well, you took us apart, did you?
In a rush, and look what happened.
You didn't sign the part.
Right here. It got pushed off to the side.
I didn't take him. Should have Good.
I want to put more goop on.
Huh?
Hopefully I won't have to put more goop on.
Pretty good, quick.
Silicone. Huh? Underestimate the power of silicone.
Yeah. Oh! Got it all over my hands.
Alright. Put a little bit then.
I think I got lots in here.
Right here. The rest is squished pretty good.
Hey. Once you do that.
Round 3. Perfect. Bring it back in. Try this again. Tighten those down after. Well, after finagling around there, I was able to get a new bushing from a transmission shop and a new seal from the local parts place, the right one this time. And I guess looking at it, it's pretty much flush with the back of the casting in there. Not sure if you can see or not. I'll probably just try driving it through and tapping the new one in from the top here. Apparently the 1.5" Craftsman's the go-to. Now, when this goes back in, got to make sure you line up the gap with the oil gallery there, or whatever you want to call it.
Maybe want to just make sure there's no scratches or anything on it first.
Now the trick will be, I need this thing to start
See it for a minute?
without screwing it up.
It's got a bevel on it. So it should be okay.
Not big enough.
You want to take a little more on it?
What's that?
You want to do a little more bevel?
I hope not.
Just like this.
This.
Just get it started.
Ooh. that won't. That's still wider than the thing, so you can't drive it all the way
Well, you can go all the way down.
flush, but
Yeah,
down
flush.
just a blonde one still.
Here, you
fast.
can do the rest. It's way easier than you figured.
What's the chance that something we'd have here is,
What's that from anyway?
I don't know, is a scrap piece we've been driving pins out with.
We're going to say that. Hold it.
Still a ways off.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I have no idea what the heck that's from.
Not sure what to do with the brush.
Looks like something I might have welded up at one point in time a few moons back. Well, I'm flush there. I don't know. It was in just a blonde one further, but it was flush with the back. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but
I think it'd be a good way it is.
I think so too. I don't think the seal will ride.
No, because the seal goes on here.
The seal might ride up against it, yeah. That's why it's in.
Just give it a little tap.
Oh no, the seal wouldn't go all the way in. It's a 1/4 inch off. The bottom here at the worst.
There you are. And paper shredder, Captain.
Yeah. Looking out. That doesn't happen very often. Maybe I should see if I can find a socket for this too. Or a piece of pipe. Huh. Well, I'm just lucking right out today.
I think we should make a box of specialty tools that we tell them use to throw them in there.
I have, it's just a pile in the corner. If I put them in a box, I'll never find them when I need them.
No, make crates specifically for stuff like that.
You need a whole Greenlee box for the amount of specialty tools like that.
No, well, you know what I mean.
Sure you guys heard that on the camera there, where it bottomed out. So, we've got a quick clean and we can get this thing going the rest of the way now. Well, I just want to point out that I was told that this had to be a specialty seal driver to install it. 9 times out of 10 you can usually find or make something to get the job done. Somebody's going to say something about the gasket maker on there. What I like to do is go around, even around the pieces here, just because it's easier to clean off next time if it's totally sealed, and a lot of that'll squish in. So, yeah, like here, it's a lot easier to clean off gasket maker than it is to clean off corrosion. And put a little tranny oil on that bushing before it goes in. I'm also going to do the drive shaft slip yoke on it. But I also want to do the seal on here, make sure it's good and lubed up. Seen way too many people put seals in and burn the rubber on them because they're dry. Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out, I guess, make sure that weep hole's on the bottom. I just did it instinctively without saying anything there. If you're doing this for the first time, that might be something to consider. Well, there we go. Let's let that cure a little bit, and we'll snuggle the last little bit and get ready to throw it underneath. Well, let's see if we can't get this thing in here now. Been chilling for a while like this. Need some brake clean still. Okay, let's clean this off and the other one. These were all pre-prepped. They were pulled apart many moons ago. should have it. Dowel's done. Get a couple of bolts in there so we don't want to. At least it won't fall out on me now. Get her buttoned up and get the drive shafts on it. This will be okay good. Clean after sitting here for as long as it has. And a little bit of grease on it. Nice thin little coat. Help her slide in a bit. There, so we'll do the back end and drive shafts put back together and start filling some stuff up with lube. Sure feels good like getting rid of some stuff off the floor. Uh-oh. Like one of these caps fell off. At some point, the needle bearing fell over. That sucks. Must have happened before I got back. Because I taped it after I changed it out in the States and came back here. This one. That's exactly what it is. Not sure if you can see the needle bearing in there or not. There, I'm probably gonna have to go look back through my footage. It's been so long and see if I filled these things with gear lube. Either that or pull the plug. Whichever is easiest at the time I remember. Now we'll just hit her with the bucket pump here. Maybe. There we go. Well, that's another thing completed. Checked off. Another thing closer. So for those of you that remember way back in the beginning of the video there when we tore this apart, we ended up tearing that transmission out and everything. The lines weren't very long on it. Somebody, I think, wore through them on the engine mount. Something must have popped out and they rubbed until they sprung a leak and somebody put rubber hose on it. So we're going to be fixing that up, and here's the lines I pulled off it. It's E4OD, so that means it's got 5/16 lines. Some of the newer stuff has, on the 4R100, has 3/8. And I hear a lot of people are buying the bypass tube and stuff for that to make it happen with the parts. So, and I went to the hose shop, and funny thing there is when you have you know, 3 guys at the counter and you're talking, you come up with 3 different ways of doing the same thing. So originally they thought they didn't have any adapters for it, so the one guy wanted to run 5/16 steel, stainless steel line, kind of the same thing that was there, just, you know, do it up a little better. And I kind of wanted the 3/8. Another guy wanted to run PTFE with stainless braid over top for everything. Not a big fan where it is. I'm right beside the downpipe, and not just that. I've got to go up and around the starter and over and up around the engine mount over here. So to get up in the front here, that's where I got to go, and that's where I'm sure originally stuff was rubbing, probably on the bolts or something there until it wore through. So, and the third guy came up with some fittings he had in the back. Apparently nobody else remembered them. That 5/16 tubing that's in there is number 5 inverted flare, so a 12x20. So I've got to screw that end here into the transmission, which gives me a number 6 JIC coming off. So with that number 6 JIC, they're able to flare me an end here for that 6 JIC. It must have vibrated, hauling a 14-foot stick of 3/8 tube and a 6-foot Ranger box was a little rough. So, number 6 JIC, we're going to have to hand bend that till it's the right measurement. So at least for the start of it, I've got a rough measurement done-ish, kind of. Meh, we'll see. Something to work with anyway. I can hand bend these until I get it close to what I need. And what I'm looking at doing is putting this little block here. It's a hose block. I'm going to run it for the stainless tube. It seems to be fitting not too shabby. Pop it back off here if I can, one-handed. Nope, I can't. So what I'm looking at doing down here is finding a way I can mount it somehow. Not sure where yet. Might even build something hanging down here. I got ground stud that goes on here for the battery, one here and one there, one on each side, off each bank. So what I got to do is run the lines out down through here and bring them up, be able to tie in for the filter and radiator and tranny cooler. So that's where we're going. I think some of the other videos there, my dump truck and stuff, you see these blocks being used there. Normally they're a weld on, you just separate it and weld the base on, and fits the hose size. So I'm probably going to have to cut the stud off a bit, make it fit the pipe, the tube there. The tube's a lot thinner walled than the hose. So that's what we're up to right now. Not really a great spot to be filming. Where'd that tube bender go?
Right here. Keeping it warm.
So, running around town looking for something. A lot of brake line tubing benders. Don't know, first of all, if they'd handle stainless that great. I need 3/8. Most of those are 3/16, quarter, and 5/16. I ran into this gray tool. If anybody's hunting around, I guess they sell these individually in you know, quarter, 5/16, 3/8, half inch, etc., etc. So this one here, it's for 3/8, and it's a TB112. If anybody's on the hunt, seems to be solid steel handles, etc. Should be able to take the grunt. It's stainless, so we'll find out soon. Alright, and you can see that line ends right there. That's where they cut it, right where the starter goes. And you know, I got my crossover for the up pipe, and over back by the down pipe, back in over here. So that's why I didn't want to go with any of them hoses. So what I want to do is, I guess I'm going to have to throw the starter on, figure out where I got to go bend behind the starter, then back up in behind the cross member there. So I've already been running into problems there. The first bend, I bent it, as you can see here, as tight as I could. And that's 3.5 inches from tip of flare to back of bend there, so I got to bend it back in and offset. Never really done too much of this, but you can see the difference basically there. Plus I've got that other fitting that takes up about 1.25 inches. This is going to be not what I was expecting with the template. I thought things would be a little simpler, but it is what it is. What I've ended up doing is I put a 45 on the tranny, because that downpipe's in the way, so I've got it coming off the fitting up there, down like that, and I'll have this tucked back up into the tranny, in theory. You can sort of see what I'm going to be getting at that way. The only way I can really make it work. Well, I've got them rigged in here. Got the mount made up, and you know, first time trying to really bend these. I think I did okay. Sure, I didn't have any real measurements to go by, and gonna leave these long till I get the clip put in here and figure out where everything else is gonna go. Then I can cut them back, take them out, and flare them for 6 JIC again. Not sure if you can see them back down in there or not, and fittings on the tranny, but that's where we're at. Well, I'm probably going to call this one a video here, and not sure if I'm going to get it much more on this here the next couple of days, so I'll call this a video. So thanks for watching, and if you don't mind, I want to see the rest of this here, you can like and subscribe, and we'll see you around.